Hello everybody, welcome to today's tutorial where we're going to be making this lovely little Easter card with this cute little 3D chick. As you can see, he can wave his wings. And so the items we're going to need is we're going to need an A4 sheet of paper. We need something to make a circle. This was a little pot from a takeaway which had some sauce in. If you haven't got something like that, you could use a compass if you're old enough. We're going to need a ruler, and if I just show you here, this little dish is 7 centimeters. We're going to need a rubber, a pencil, 3 different coloured pens. I've used an orange, a yellow and a light blue, and a black marker pen. So today I've used an A4 sheet of printer paper. Ideally for this project you really need some thin card or some thicker drawing paper, but just in case you don't have that, in this project I'm going to show you how to use just normal printer paper. So here's a template that I've made of our chick, which you can find in the link below or on my Facebook page or Instagram, which means that you can print it out and the younger children can just colour in if they're not old enough to do this drawing project. So first of all, we're going to take our little circle, we're going to place it on this piece of paper here, and we're going to draw around it, not too heavily because this is just going to be a guideline, and then we're going to put a dot in the middle of the circle, and if you measure down 3.5 centimeters, then you can be sure that it's in the middle, and 3.5 centimeters from the edge of the circle on the other side. So that's where we find the centre point of our circle. We're then going to put the top of the little dish, or the top of the circle, to that centre point, and then we're going to do another light circle underneath, which is going to make the shape of our chick's body. We're then going to find a point on the top of his head, just slightly to the right of the centre, and we're going to follow a line down to the halfway line of the circle, and we're going to start creating the feathers in the chick's face. As you can see, I'm joining dots up and making these downward V shapes, and then put a dot in the middle of our guideline circle and draw it up to meet the little V shapes. Then we're going to find a point to the other side of the centre of our circle, and again follow the guideline down, find the point that's just below the centre line, and then join that down and do the same as the other side. We're going to create little V shapes, staying inside the guideline of our circle, and then join that down to the bottom point. So we've now created the shape of our chick's face. Now we're going to find the centre point, and we're going to go just below the centre point, and we're going to do a straight line across, find the centre point again and do a V shape, and then join over the top, and now we've created the little chick's beak. and then we're going to go slightly to one side, put 2 dots, and we're going to create this kind of a downward bendy curve, dot in the middle, and go up and create the chick's eye. And then we're going to do a large circle. This is going to make the chick's pupil, with a little white dot in the middle for the light reflection. Again, find this point, do the same as the other side, a little downward curve, dot in the middle above it, and join the edges up and around like so. And then do a large circle in the middle and a smaller little dot to leave white for the chick's light reflection. Now I've stepped back and I've looked at this, and I feel that my eyes are not quite the same size, so gently rub out, and then I'm going to make this one slightly smaller and that one slightly bigger, and then they should be even. And this is the advantage of working with a pencil, in that if you do make mistakes, you can easily rub out and then correct it. Now we're going to give 2 little curls. This makes the chick's eyelashes. 2 little dots just here for his nostrils. Give him 2 little tiny eyebrows. And now we're going to do a dot just here, and a dot here and here, and join them together to start making the little tuft on the top of his head. Go straight up, put a dot here, join that down to that line, and then put a dot there and do a curved line down to there. Now for his top tuft. And then join that with a curved line down to the original beginning of our circle. 2 little lines to show where the tufts meet his head. And that's our chick's face completed. Now you need to put a dot just here. And we're going to follow the guideline of our circle down to this point, and at this point we're going to start making the feathers of his body. So again, like we did on the face, we're going to do some little zigzag shapes. Now I've just made a mistake there because I followed the wrong line. I need to rub this out because I want to make his lower half of his body a little bit lower than the guideline of our circle. So take those zigzags down and then take the line of the lower part of his body just below the guideline of our circle, and then do the same on the other side down to this point. Zigzag feather shapes, keeping inside the guideline and then outside the guideline, so we get a slightly oval shape to the bottom part of his body. And again, if you're not happy with what you've done first time, rub out and put it right. Now we're going to do a dot here and a dot over here, which is kind of in line with his eyes. Then do a dot here and here, and again join those up, dot there and join that, and keep making dots, right, and then join them up, and we have created his wings. Now on the other side, again, follow the line across, make sure he's level with his eyes, and join the dots. Put a dot here for the tip of his wing, and then you're going to join the top part, curve round to make the tip of his wing, a dot over here, and join them together. What I should have said is, when you do your first dots for the top of his wing, it should measure 7 centimeters from his face to the tip of the wing, otherwise it will be too big for the card. Okay, now we're going to go down and start to do the chick's legs and feet. So do your dots where you think you want your legs to start. And so you're going to come down, you're going to do your first dot coming this way, and then join the dots so that you've created 3 little claws. Again on the other side, come down, follow the dots, join up, and then the other side of the leg to the body, again making another little three clawed foot. Okay, so that's the shape finished. I'm just rubbing out here so that I take out the guidelines that we don't need anymore, rubbing away some of the dots that I've made that I don't want to see, without rubbing out too much, and then very carefully going over and reinforcing the lines so that it's exactly where it needs to be. Don't forget to rub out the centre dot and your centre line. When you're happy with your pencil line drawing, take your black felt tip pen or marker pen, and you're just going to go around the outline and reinforce it so that it looks like this. And again, this template you can print out and younger children can just colour in, or older children can just colour in if you want to. So I've taken my orange pen and I've put orange on his little top tufts. I've put orange in his beak and in his legs. I then use blue for his eyes, but you can use any colour you like. I think green might look quite cute. And then we're going to take the yellow pen and start filling in his wings, his body and his face. When you do the sides of his face, overlap those little feather tufts so that you're actually filling into the line of the circle guide. Because when we cut this shape out, we're not really going to be able to cut into those little V feathers very easily. So if you've put the yellow behind, it will look as if it's his body and face behind it. Okay, so this is what we're going to end up with. And then we need to take some scissors. Hopefully you've got some safety scissors. If not, you're going to have to get your mum or your dad to cut out, or an adult to cut out the shape. So again, cut a circle shape. Don't go into the V's of the feathers, but cut around the tufts. Very carefully cut around his feet. Now, should you have an accident and cut his legs off, you can always draw them onto the card once you've glued him on to the card. And here we have it. This is our chick ready to go onto the card, which we're going to be making in our next tutorial. Part 2 is where we're going to make the card and design the card ready for the chick to stick on. I look forward to seeing you in part 2. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial.